Hey, it's the normal playing guy in today's video, STR Boujack, the space pirate that lives in King Kai's planet. Yes, murderous overlord Boujack. What a name! He's out now alongside the Super Dragon Ball Heroes collab. There's a lot to do there, but this guy, he is powerful. So let's have a look at him now. He's easy 8. He's out now. Brilliant. Do it. It's a nice 30 something stones. But yes, let's have a look. So space traveling warriors and time travelers get their respective 170 and 150. I presume that'll go to a full 170 across the board. We had 100%. He gave 2 key 30% to stats against one or more enemies, it seems, to allies. And they got an additional when facing more, an additional when facing more still. So Super Battle Road, he was perfect, but you still came away with this because it's still against one or more. We did have a 30% buff to to himself, which is really nice. I can imagine that will be buffed again. So now we have 3 key 170%, and there's a bit more in this. So we now have 150% to stats. That's nice. Let's have a look because easy aid and they get a stat buff, so it's all really nice. So we're now at 55%. This is actually rather respectable. There are new units such as Lord Slug which don't even have this. Decent attack, decent health. Even with one dupe if you've got him, 13.7 and 18,000 attack. This unit is 2021, so it's a fair chance that a lot of people do have this unit. And if you don't and he's in the shop, now's probably a chance to buy him. So what do we get? 150%. Extreme class allies get 30% anyway. Space traveling warriors or inhuman deeds, 2 key 30% when facing one enemy. So in a sense that's 60%. An additional 15% when facing 2 or more enemies, that's 75. And another 15% against 3 or more, that's 90%. That's 2 key 90% to stats that you're going to give to allies. That's insane. 90% attack and defense is insane because in Super Battle Road then you're going to be getting 90%. When you take one of them out you're going to be getting 75%. Take another of them out and you're down to the last one and then you're down to 60%, still with 2 key. 60%'s no joke. His best partner is going to be this guy. Remember him? He has his easy A, he's good. Again, Space Traveller Warriors Extreme Class Allies, he gets big buffs, right? This in particular is really, really nice. Imagine giving him 90%, which is pretty bonkers. Speaking of which, this guy as well is also his best friend for one major particular reason, and that is Galactic Warriors coming in at 2 key 20% to stats, along with Heraclan, which is another 2 key. Here you're getting 4 key. And look, he has key in his passive that can build up, but this guy, he has nothing. They both have nothing in the start of turn, but at least one can build pending on the team. This, he has none. But again, having 4 key means you can get your 18 key really, really easy. And with this link skill, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest coming in, they're insane actually. It's revitalised that LR, who is pretty solid, and again, in turn is helping this unit. So you look like you get an additional 30% to stats, up to 120, when attacking per Space Traveling Warriors or Inhuman Deeds, depending which has the most. There's a good amount of overlap between the two. Space Traveling Warriors probably has more people in its roster, so that's fine. Guards all attacks when you essentially have a full team of either or, so that's really nice. Speaking of super attack effect, 50% to the stats instead of 30, so this is even better. When you factor this small buff, this goes from 100 to 150, and then this itself is a little bit extra, along with the easy A stats, and this guy, suddenly he's looking at probably 300k minimum defense, depending on links, start of turn, and his attack stat probably will hit straight up. When this is fully built up, I'd imagine he's going to be on 500k easy and probably touching 10 million plus, probably. Again, it all depends on links and teams, but I would say that is quite easily what he's doing. So that's nice. But yeah, so speaking of these, the Heraclan and Galactic Warriors are strictly for Bojack squad, the Space Pirate squad. But coming in with this, which is itself 40%, is really, really nice. The teams here, Transformation Boost is a given because it covers a lot. Full Power, maybe. Movie Boss, yeah. Time Travelers, Space Traveling Warriors, Resurrected Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors, and Human Deeds are a must. Maybe not Legendary Existence, maybe not Storied, and maybe not Tournament Participants, because, he just isn't. That is strictly going to be Tournament of Power or DB Saga, and I just don't see that happening. But yes, and the people here, fortunately, he's STR, and Space Traveling Warriors and Terrifying Conquerors, and Inhuman Deeds, sort of, are STR, so he is really good. We're talking, some cells, but you got like coolers, freezers, turlers. I mean, we check out what are they going to be rocking on. Space Traveling Warriors, so that's nice. Cooler, Space Traveling Warriors, really nice. LR Cooler, Space Traveling Warriors. Perhaps Freezer. Freezer is on Inhuman Deeds, so he could be a freebie. Slug, Space Traveling Warriors, this is the new guy, again, also Extreme STR. So you'll get the links such as Big Bad Bosses, which is going to be huge. Now, this is the problem when it comes with them, because you've got all these raw numbers stats like this, raw numbers, but there's no key in here. And the only key is going to get period is from the links of Heraclan. He doesn't build up. At least this guy has something, right? He gives himself 5 key at the very nice. That's going to be nice. So that is a problem. So I can imagine he can still struggle, possibly, because then that means you'd have to run these, because even these, the chances of you getting coward, not easy, and revival, yeah, maybe, but again, it's not likely. Anyway, he has a active skill where he rips off his top and becomes super powerful and very, very angry. So let's see how it works. So he has 3 key. Okay, here we go. 3 key, 240%, and still maintain the guard. So that's nice. Launch an additional attack, 50% chance to super. Okay, did that change? Oh yes, it has. He has a 30% chance to super, and he only had 180%. So looks like he got stats with 6 or more key spheres. 6 or more key spheres is kind of a lot. He's an STR orb changer. Can't go wrong with that. An additional 120% to stats on attack. His super attack greatly stacks attack, greatly raised defense with a turn. Previously it was stack attack. I think that's fair. I suppose you could argue that should also be greatly stack, but it's fair. It's still greatly raised. So you're getting 120%, and you're going to be getting this as well as greatly stacking. And then you get this, 3 or more key spheres, 30% defense, quite a lot of attack. Another 60% attack and a super attack, in essence, with 6 or more key spheres. 6 or more key spheres is, I mean, it's a lot to get. 5 I feel like is more realistic. 6, I mean, he has 3 key now, which really helps him to super attack anyway, which is nice. This, how they put it only on the 3rd, is the same as this. You had to get 6 key spheres in order to get the defensive buffs here. But now that we have, I mean, they basically just compiled it together in the first 3. So that's fine. You could say you could get another set of defensive buff when you got 6 or more key spheres, maybe, but at least you're getting much easier. It is a lot of attack. The difference between the 5th and 6th key in respects in terms of attack is going to matter. This is where you'll easily break 10 million, and you'll rapidly do it because you'll greatly stack that attack. But yeah, so hugely powerful, buffed up by this guy who again is going to be revitalized and brought out of the dead. But for sure him. The only problem is key. I mean, in this form, you don't have to worry about him too much, but when we're talking start of turn, and he doesn't have any key and doesn't build it up, and you're not going to run the Heraclan and Galactic Warriors, yeah, that's a problem. Looking at this list, this unit I think is key. but the rest don't. Ah, no, actually, strictly tell a lie. I can't remember he gives key. I know he gives transformation boost units a bit of a buff. So he can give supports, but again, not a single one of these, as far as I'm aware, can give key. So that's something. So again, something to just be cautious about. If he was out, I can imagine the sub-easy A, by the way, for this guy cannot be too far away. So that's got to be something. Anyway, yeah. So that's it. That's enough for this video because it is what it is. Boujack, he's out now. Come get your 34 stones, is it? How many did you get on missions? Is it 3 or 4? Anyway, he's easy A, he's out. You can use it for the heroes. Don't forget, you've also got the anniversary coming up in a few months. You've also got the Step Up banner, Christmas, New Year, you name it. All those shiny new units. So, your choice. But yeah, get it done. Lots to do. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I have been that best of all normal playing guys. And yeah, you've been great. Thank you. And bye-bye.